What is up guys, I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video we are going to talk a little bit about the Huawei P20 Pro. So honestly, never in my life did I think that I would be using a Huawei as my primary go-to phone for everyday usage. And that's obviously no disrespect to Huawei, as they have made plenty of phones in the past that I have really enjoyed using, but I always find myself going ahead and picking up a Samsung or even an iPhone. But ever since I got this around 4 months ago, I have never put it down. So in this video, I want to tell you guys a little bit of why I love it and honestly the little cons that there is as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So straight off the bat, as soon as the P20 Pro was launched and I seen that Twilight colorway, I knew I was destined to own it. And honestly, it did not disappoint either. I work in a very busy environment and this design honestly catches people's eyes quite a lot, and they often ask me what phone I am rocking. The only downside to this glass back is of course all those fingerprints that get on it. So I went ahead and just stuck a cheap clear case that I picked up off of Amazon. That way you can still see the Twilight colorway and you don't have to deal with the constant OCD of wiping the fingerprints off, so you get the best of both worlds. As for the rest of the design, I would say that it is a lovely looking device. I really like having the fingerprint reader up front, and honestly it is one of the fastest that I have ever used. But if you don't like this position, then you could honestly just go ahead and use face unlock, as again it is super fast. You practically press the power button, it detects your face and you are straight in. Probably milliseconds. It is super sleek and fast, so either the fingerprint or the face unlock, you will not be unhappy with either. So obviously we can't talk about the looks of this handset without mentioning that notch. Honestly, the notch is not really a big deal for me. It didn't take me long to forget it, but if you really hate the notch, and I know some of you guys do, you can go ahead, jump into the software and pretty much hide it with a little tweak. Looks pretty good, and honestly I think most of you would get used to it. It is a bit of a distraction to start with, but after maybe a day, you honestly will not notice it's there. Of course, if you have watched any reviews of the P20 Pro, then you will know by now that everyone is loving that triple camera. Honestly, this camera has just blown me away and performs no matter what the lighting situation is. During good light, you can go ahead and snap some 48 megapixel shots, and I think you will agree they look detailed and sharp. You can also just opt for the standard 10 megapixel mode, which again produces some great shots, albeit a little over sharpened at times. But where things really get interesting and your mind will get blown is when you switch on night mode. The 4-second exposure just brightens everything up and the final product is just magnificent. It makes shooting at night and even in low light situations an absolute pleasure. If you like to live dangerously like me though, you can even go ahead and use night mode during the day.
That's how I roll.
So if I go ahead and show you some images taken using the 10 megapixel camera in auto versus the night mode, you will see how much more detail you can get. And don't worry if you're a little shaky, as the AI stabilization works a treat. There are some other aspects of that triple lens setup worth mentioning, like the telephoto lens for that 3x optical zoom, and it comes in super handy for getting you closer to your subject, and the images look pretty nice. There's also the 5x hybrid zoom, but I'll be honest and say that I never use it, but as you see, it doesn't look too terrible at all. Last of all, you can go ahead and take some pictures like these utilising the monochrome sensor, and before you go ahead and mention that you could just go ahead and use a filter, the difference is absolutely night and day. The quality of the monochrome images is just stunning. The pictures are nice and sharp, and honestly it just sets a different mood, so if you're into that type of photography, then it's definitely an option. So yes, I absolutely love the camera for taking pictures, but if video is your thing, then you may be disappointed, because if you sway away from that recommended 1080p to 4K, then you will notice how shaky it is due to the lack of stabilization. And honestly, while I don't ever shoot video with my smartphone, it is certainly something that Huawei should have implemented into a flagship device. If you just go ahead and stick with 1080p though, you will definitely be happy with the results, as it is buttery smooth and you will have no issues. For the selfie lovers, the front facing camera is fine, but the usual beauty mode is there, smoothing your skin out like crazy. But after watching a few handy tip videos that I will link down below, I learned that you can shoot selfies in photo mode with beauty off for better results. So while we are still focusing on the positives, another awesome factor about this phone is the fact that Huawei have crammed a 4000 mAh battery into this phone, and honestly, it will blow your mind. I would honestly consider myself a heavy user. My phone is practically glued to my hands all day, and when I go to bed at night I've still got around 40% charge left. This is easily a 2-day phone and has never let me down yet, and one of the main reasons that I will take it everywhere with me. If you ever find yourself in a jam however, which I seriously doubt, then you can go ahead and charge the device using the included fast charger, which will give you up to 80% battery in just 45 minutes, so there's also that option. Sadly though, there is no wireless charging, which I find pretty ridiculous considering it does have a glass back. I don't know if it was cost saving or whatever, maybe the coils etc would have made it a little bit thicker, I'm not sure, but I would love to see Huawei going ahead and implementing fast charging next time, as that would have really made this the ultimate device for me, apart from of course the fact that they do not have a headphone jack.
God damn!
Which is definitely something you guys need to do next time, so please Huawei, just give us a damn headphone jack. So what's it like to utilise on a daily basis? Well, I'll be straight up with you and say that EMUI has definitely improved over the past few years, and when you hide the million pre-bundled apps, the experience is pretty sweet. Everything is fluid and smooth, and as I love to game, I spent plenty of time playing PUBG etc on it and faced zero issues when it came to lag. If you would like to see a more in-depth gaming video where I check out temperatures etc, just let me know down below in the comment section and I will definitely get on that. That is something I would definitely like to put together for you guys. Although things have gotten better with EMUI, I will admit I still use a launcher and throw on my own style, as I prefer to utilise it this way. Whatever way you rock it, you will not be disappointed. I just prefer the simple layout with everything I need to hand, and I know a few of you guys asked me on Twitter about updates etc, and I have had plenty of updates since launch on the P20 Pro, so I'm pretty sure you will have no problems with security patches etc. So the 6-inch AMOLED panel, while not QHD, is still pretty nice. If you like watching YouTube and looking through Instagram, then you will not be disappointed. It has a nice contrast, great viewing angles, colours pop, it's sharp, and it gets plenty bright when needed outdoors, so don't be put off until you have checked it out. So while the screen is good, I was a little disappointed by the stereo speakers. They do sound a little bit tinny and definitely not as good as other flagships, so hopefully in the next iteration of this device we see them improved. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I am absolutely loving my P20 Pro and will continue to use it as my daily driver for some time. If Huawei can make some slight improvements to the software, like easier navigation of some settings etc, maybe add some wireless charging and bring the damn headphone jack back, then I will be super excited. If you're on the market for a new smartphone at the minute, then I would definitely check out the P20 Pro. Not only will it save you money, but you will not be disappointed by it. Everything I throw at it, it just gives back so much. It's fast, it's fluid, the camera is ridiculous good, and honestly, if you pick up the Twilight, you will love how it looks. If you have any questions about the Huawei P20 Pro, just let me know down below. As always guys, stay safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Todos muy grandes.